Welcome to the Real Estate Syndication Show. Whether you are a seasoned investor or building a new real estate business, this is the show for you. Whitney Sewell talks to top experts in the business. Our goal is to help you master real estate syndication. And now your host, Whitney Sewell.
This is your daily real estate syndication show. I'm your host, Whitney Sewell. Today, our guest is Vinney Chopra. Thanks for being on the show again, Vinney.
Thank you, Whitney. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate Vinney being on the show. He's such an expert in the space. He's got probably a more experience than probably anybody that I know in this business. And, Vinney's been on a few times. I'm sure you're familiar with his name. He was on the show WS 161, and he was also the first guest, WS 01. So thanks again, Vinney, for being back. And just a very brief intro, and we're going to jump right in, and we're going to do a series of shows with Vinney, just laying out some diving in a little more in depth about some specific topics. But Vinney came to the U.S. with $7 in his pocket and now has over 35 years of real estate experience and 15 plus years in multifamily syndication, investing and managing experience, including overseeing management of $220 million in real estate assets. Vinney, thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you, Whitney. What a great show you have. I really, really appreciate that. Your show name is so appropriate, syndication show, because that's what I think your and my job is, to let everybody catch that vision, how great that, special thing is when you get other people's money involved and really scale up very faster, a lot more faster than just buying a duplex and a fourplex and sixplex.
Yes. Vinney, obviously today, we want to really narrow in on building our team. And, we want to elaborate on what that team looks like. And, I want you to speak to the ones that are just getting started. I know you're coaching many students also. And so I know you're used to, helping people get started at building a team. Because I think initially it's like, where do I even start? Who would I need first? Or the chicken and the egg thing, it's like, what, which team member is most important, and so get us started and just building our team, and let's dive in.
Totally, Whitney. As if somebody's starting right away, I try to tell my students also, please look for a like-minded person with integrity, with trustworthiness, with their goals, where they are going at a meetup group, a local group, meetup group. Because see, the thing is, you need to look in your circle of influence. I call it circle of influence, Whitney, because we have so many associates we have worked with in the past. We have relatives, we have friends, we have all these people. One needs to make a list of them and put down their qualities right next to it, because you are looking for a partner who's going to really go side by side with you to build this business together. So one team member that we all need is a partner. It's not a solo game. Please do not try to do it by yourself, because you'll get discouraged. And I know for sure, because we were discouraged for almost 10 months. We could not buy any property. Nobody wanted to give us loan. Nobody wanted to talk to us, So we started from zero investor, and they wanted to ask us how much experience we have. We couldn't lie, but we said we are learning it, and that's how we are now so successful. So the big thing I would like to say is get a team member together, make a Wyoming LLC, get a business card, get a nice website, $40-50. People are able to make great websites for you. You got to have a social presence, social media presence. Okay, now once we have that team member, total integrity wise, there has to be responsibilities. You got to lay out a foundation of the operating agreement and all the legal structure. Don't try to copy and paste things. I don't believe in that. So it's good to do legal Zoom, which is a service which is very efficient service, very inexpensive, that you could do that, or even self-formation of the Wyoming LLC. I've talked to so many attorneys. Wyoming LLCs are just like Las Vegas LLCs and Delaware LLCs, but they are much better. And then the other part is, now we're going to talk about a syndication attorney. That's one person in our team, because we're going to be raising money. When we raise money, we have to follow the laws of SEC ruling, Securities and Exchange Commission ruling. So I would highly recommend, again, anybody could find a lot of different people, but Gene Trowbridge and Kim Taylor, they have been with me for 26 syndications that I've done, 27th one now, and they are marvelous people. And Kim Taylor, right from Florida and from Idaho, they're able to put packets. And there are a lot of other great syndication attorneys. Please go on their website and learn and read, what should a new investor look for the legal terms, and how they have to not talk about advertising, and how they need to have the pre-existing relationships, because most of the new investors will be doing mom and pop syndication, Regulation D, which is exemption, with 506B as in boy, where you can get up to 35 investors, sophisticated investors, and as many accredited investors as you need. No problem. But the thing is, you want to really become a student of this profession. You can't just start overnight success. You cannot do it. So you got to have a member in the team. You got to get your syndication attorney. And actually, just to put a little plug for my friend, I don't get paid any money, but Kim Taylor, she has a great service where she gives so many interviews for free for only $1,000 or $1,500, and then she credits that back, for the first syndication. So you actually learn everything, for free. It's just amazing, and she's been just marvelous, to work with. So wow. That's one thing. My, real estate attorney is another person we need, right, in a team. Real estate attorney is, again, it's good to have in the state you're going to purchase the property. So in my academy, Whitney, I talk about, okay, you got the team going, you got the business, this, you got the investor packet. I'll talk about that in a second. But the big thing is which state you're going to be buying the property. You got to find the emerging market. And I teach that have 3 emerging markets at least. 3 different states, maybe 3 different cities, because you never know, where that property is going to show up, so you could have 3 or 4 emerging markets at one time and build relationships with, get a syndication attorney, which is, they could write in everywhere in the USA, but the real estate attorney should be from that state, because they will be the ones who will be involved in any contracts, any kind of due diligence if it's needed, any kind of litigation and other things like that. So when I did in
I don't hear too many people talk about that, Vinney. Like, they got, in the syndication business, having a syndication attorney and then having another attorney in that state. And so the syndication attorney is really going to be the one to develop the PPMs and those documents around the syndication. I mean, specifically, correct?
Yes, totally.
The other attorney is going to know more state-specific laws for other contracts that you're going to have, or more specific questions per that state.
Exactly. Totally, Whitney. And I'm so proud to again say thank you to my friend, Milton Colgrove, who has known us for about 10, 11 years, now 12 years. And he oversees all my businesses, everything. Very good counsel, and you need one. You need a good attorney, and then who can, real estate attorney, by the way, because syndication attorneys are great for PPMs, right? Just like you said, but real estate attorneys are great for all the contracting, all the different, the contract. Purchase and sale contract, we call it, but looking through and giving opinions on other stuff related to the real estate. So that's a big one. Then the third one, team member we need to have would be very, very big one. That's the brokers. See, you got to bring some really good, savvy brokers into your team, into your confidence. As you find 3 markets, you want to then go into. And I teach, again, there are different ways to get all these brokers. Most of the multifamily companies like ARA, Cushman and Field, the Marcus and Millichap, The boutique companies, I love doing business with boutique companies because they are a little bit smaller, but they do a lot of business in that given area. And the very best way to find that to your audience, just Google. Just Google and say, I want to buy multifamily brokers in Houston, for example, right? By just Googling it, it's going to come with all the different links. Just go one by one, go over there and try to not go to the top people in Marcus and Millichap. They will not give you time of the day. Who really do the grunt work are the associates. So you want to build relationship with the associates, not with the top people who don't do anything. By the way, I'm sorry. They do something, but their name is on the operating memorandum, but they are at the high level. But the most of the, the listing, the sellers are dealing with the associates at the lower level because they are the ones getting their P&Ls, rent rolls, all the data, putting it together, graphics, this, that, and they can get you the name of the property before anybody else will, that
Wow.
way.
No,
So
that's good.
that is, yeah, thank you. So that's the broker, who's very, very important part of our business, and good brokers. And then I teach that, we got to be talking to them, texting to them, calling them, emailing them every 10 days. Every 10 days, we got to be in touch with them, sending articles, look for their accomplishments. People like to be bragged on, and if we are kind of giving them some good information, they would love to endear with you and you'll rise up. See, when a new person joins a company or starts asking for deals, pocket listing, they will not get pocket listings, right, Whitney? So we got to get our space made with them. We got to make sure that we scratch more. The scratch gets more warmth, right? And then the thing also I say is the squeakiest wheel gets the grease. That's the other part. Because if you just talk to them and just email them and not really follow up, they are not going to remember you. So you want to move from the 5th level to the top level in their book, so that when they get a listing, they are now sending it to you also, right there. That has been my secret, by the way, because I've not done too many campaigns of letter writing or texting to the out of state owners or anything like that. I just have really built relationships with my brokers, and I use my iPhone as the best tool. I mean, you can text people, copy, paste. I do that all the time. When I'm going to Atlanta, I draft an text message, nice one, put my picture. Always text with a picture. Never text by itself. You got to text some motivational quote with a picture on it and things like that. Those are small things, but very big things in their mind. Because text, they look at it, but if they see the text and a picture, it's going to remind them right away. Oh my gosh, that was Vinney. Smile. Oh yeah, he was, nice guy, whatever. So that is a big thing, right?
Who is Vinney Smile Chopra? Came to the U.S. from India with $7 in his pocket, and today he has created a portfolio of over $200 million in commercial real estate. He's a CEO of 5 companies, acquiring and managing diverse multifamily portfolio of 3,500 units, and his team self-manage all the assets. Vinney has walked the walk with over 26 successful syndications during multiple economic cycles, including downturns over 12 years. He has built a very extensive educational academy to teach and mentor investors. Vinney, tell us about this Multifamily Syndication Academy.
Thank you, Whitney. Thank you so much. I'm really proud to really talk to everybody about this extensive multifamily academy that teaches new and sophisticated investors how to use other people's money through syndications. That has been my world, to buy apartments from 50 units to 500 units, and how to select emerging markets, how to do deal analyzing, investor education, other people money, syndication blueprints, everything I have learned, I teach in this academy, and over 500 lectures, and also how to manage the assets also, and along with lots of great templates and PowerPoints, everything. And I personally also mastermind coach all my students every Wednesday. So to reach me, Whitney, all the students have to, or investors have to just text the word learn, LEARN, learn to 474747, or call my team at 925-766-3518. The other thing is, I'm huge in getting the euphoria going. What does that mean? I tell my brokers, hey, Vinny's coming into town. So, I send them about a week before all these texts, that same text copied and pasted to 15 brokers. Now, everybody they don't know who else is going to show me properties. So all 15 brokers are ready to get their listings going to meet with Vinny and talk to me and so forth. So I love that. So that is a very special team member, very special team member. Other team member we need is a loan broker. Loan broker. A really, really good loan broker needed in commercial properties, and who can write loans in many states. That's the other part. You don't want a local person somewhere in Massachusetts who has done maybe few loans, but you need to go to Texas. If you're going to buy something in Texas, then you go to Texas and find a great loan broker. I mean, I would love to sell LMI Capital, Brandon Brown, great guy. Of course, old Capital, I think, in the Dallas area, doing great job. Michael Becker, I have never met him. Love to promote him, because he's a great guy and everything. And, they are doing really good loans there, all that stuff. So loan broker is very important also, Whitney, because they need to understand you as a new buyer. What's your net worth? What's your financial statements? What's your experience? What's your story? They need to package you in a beautiful package to show it to their local banks, first of all, because if you're buying a property, I mean, I would love to, not to brag about me, but like 13 banks, he gave my properties to, where I was needing renovation dollars and other things like that. Out of that, 13, 12 wanted to give me loans. I never met nobody. He was doing all the work for me. I love those loan brokers. I mean, they make 1% commission or points, which is great. It's amazing because they will do so much for you, get you the best rates, get you the best, because I don't know if a lot of your audience knows that in the loan brokerage also, you could buy the same loan with different differentials, they call it. You could add 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, and prepayment penalty, no prepayment penalty, I owe for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I mean, all these things. And then loan brokers also get some money from the lender too, by the way, the banks and the other institutions. So you could really set up a good thing with them, and they could do, like Brandon has done all my loans, right? And my first loan with him was only 0.5% points, and that was amazing because I was able to do Fannie Mae loan quickly and so forth. So I would really highly recommend, don't go out and put LOIs all over the place. I mean, a lot of coaches are teaching that. That's wrong, because you got to make sure what you can, qualify for. How many units you can qualify with your net worth and the net worth of your partner, or maybe third, we call it as the loan sponsor, have all those three net worths together. That is equal to loan now, because the loan amount has to be lower than the total net worth of the key principals. So that is very important. The other part is, of course, loan brokers should be in confidence as we are talking to the seller on a pocket listing and all, or the broker. We need to give them also the financials right away. We got to give them right away, because they need to underwrite that same property that I'm going to put LOI within 24 or 48 hours. So I actually get these people going right away. My insurance agent, I send them the listing or pocket listing or address, and they go on Google Map search to see how many buildings are there, and they give me the real number for my insurance. We go to assessor's office. My team member goes there. They look at this price. This is the total tax, because that's a huge number in the underwriting. And then the third thing is loan. If I cannot qualify for loan, then why to put an LOI? So I believe in all those things, So that's what I would like to highly recommend your audience to really, really get to the real reality as to what they can afford. And then don't waste the time of brokers if you're not able to afford it. Gosh, see, I have closed on all 26 my acquisitions in the last 10 years or so. My 12 of them in the new company, I don't know if you knew that, Whitney, they came in 2 years and 2 months. I did 12 syndications with my new company because I was flying by myself. I had experience already, but as a CEO, I can make so many decisions. I don't have to ask the partner. But newbies, they need to get a partner, to get that first deal going or second deal going. You don't need to stay partners for life. That's what another thing I would like to mention. Please, please, please do not sign long-term contracts with your partners. That is not the way to do it. You got to do with the partners. They need you, you need them. And once you get your first or second property, your net worth increases. Mine has gone up by 7 times, in such a short period of time. It's ridiculous because syndication world is such a business where you scale up so fast. You scale up. And once you start underwriting good deals and you give your investors, which we didn't talk about yet, those are our partners, but that's a very big one, which we'll talk about in a second. The investors are huge partners. If they are not there, we are zero, right?
That's right. And I appreciate you talking about, Vinney, about the partnership and how don't sign a long-term commitment. And, would you even say, think of it like deal specific, especially initially,
yes.
Not make this big company together where you're going to buy all these properties, but let's kind of take a trial run here on this property. Because I feel like after, you've partnered with somebody, a lot of things are going to come to the surface that you didn't know about this individual, whether it's them personally or whether it's their skills or their ability. It may even be better than you thought, but it could be worse also.
Exactly, Whitney. You're so right about that. So it's good to have your own LLC, their own LLC, and then both LLC can come into that deal specific. We call this actually the property LLC and then a manager LLC on the top, which doesn't cost that much money at all. And in that manager LLC, you come in 2 partners plus the loan sponsor, if that's the third person. Maybe if some people are raising money, they can legally come in there also in that manager LLC. So it's a very good structure to do it. And I hope a lot of your audience, will do that. That's how I was taught by Gene Trowbridge, Nice. And I like to go to the right way to do things, which we should all.
So, somebody like a loan broker, I feel like, he's not going to take somebody serious that's never done a deal or that has no team already somewhat established. So, just like going through the list of team members, if you already have these people in place, by the time you get to loan broker, you've got a nice pamphlet or something, I hope, at that time to be able to show him your company or show him that you're serious about making this happen.
Totally. I'm so glad you're saying that. I call it like your big business card. It's like credibility kit, I call it in my language. Credibility kit for the brokers, credibility kit for the loan broker, credibility kit for investors, credibility kit for the attorneys, right? So what that really is, it's your business plan. It's your what you are made of, your experiences, your biodata, right? And where you are learning, who is your coach, who is your mentor, what have they done, and all those things, and what seminars you've been to. See, people don't know nothing. So you got to put the best foot forward in showing everybody in a professional way. I hate to see some investors don't want to invest any money. I mean, you could get a Fiverr, FIVERR.com person pay $10. I mean, just to let you know, your audience, I spent $10,000 to make this beautiful document, which is my educational brochure for investors. And I show that to my brokers and other people too. It cost me $10,000 because I wanted to do it right, graphically and everything, and diagrams and this and that. I give it for free to my students in a PowerPoint. They pay $50 And now they got a $10,000 instrument made for them for $50, just $50. And I let them change the colors and everything and different graphics. It's a brand new piece, much different than Vinney Chopra, and I love that. So I love to give, please go ahead.
That gives them something to obviously show to these people that they're serious. But I feel like too, when you're new, as I feel like, a lot of the listeners are, and they're trying to get started in this business, you're nervous about those conversations, but having something like that in front of you kind of gives you something, you can read some of the stuff off of it, but then also kind of gives you a blueprint to walk through a little bit when you're talking to this professional that you've never met before. And maybe you're a little bit intimidated. It's just helpful to have something to hold in your hand that you can read a little bit from and not have to come up with all of this from memory.
Totally. So true, Whitney. So let's talk about one more partner, a team member we need. Everybody who is starting out is the property management company. They are a good, solid team member that we need to actually, and if anybody would like to get, what to ask for questions and everything like that, I have a very big Excel worksheet, that we put together, and questions. Your audience can just, text the word, that 474747 learn. We can get that for them. But the thing is, now, property management company also, you got to look at what you can afford, which level of units. If it's if it's like 15 units to 50 units, 15 to 50, you should only look for the property management company that specializes in that particular segment. If you're looking for 100 units or 200 units, then you go for the more sophisticated, property management company. But that is a must, Whitney, because the thing is, the lender, the bank, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, small business, local banks will not give you loan unless they have a complete confidence in your ability that you have the experience to manage the asset after closing. If you don't have the asset experience, management experience, they will not give you the loan. So you need a third party at that time in the starting. That's like we did, right? We used a very nice company from Dallas, Texas, and then we started our own 2 companies, So that's important. That's another team member, right? Then we talk about the last team member. Of course, I covered probably whole spectrum in team members right there. The other team members we need are the investors. Oh my gosh. I mean, if they are not there, we are nothing, like I said, because they are the ones who are going to invest their money from retirement. $26 trillion, Whitney, is in retirement accounts right now.
We're going to go in depth about investors in another
episode. We will. We sure will. Big time.
And yes. I wanted to make sure the listeners knew too that you had mentioned about the property management, the list of questions that you would provide. You said text LEARN, LEARN to 474747. Is that right?
Yes. Learn, LEARN, learn to 474747. They'll reach my academy, my team members mastermind, and I'm group coaching, master coaching, because I can't have time individually. So many students want to learn from. I appreciate that, fact. But yeah, please send that word learn to 474747.
Great. Vinney, thank you so much for your time today and being on the show and just breaking down the team members that we need and why we need them, and also helping those that are brand new to the industry and get started and what they need to get those conversations going to build this team that we have to have. That's a must.
Thank you, Whitney. God bless you.
Yeah, I hope the listeners will join Vinney, or will text LEARN to 474747, or they'll also go to Life Bridge Capital and connect with me, and they'll also go to our Facebook group, the Real Estate Syndication Show, where we can all learn and grow our businesses together and learn from experts like Vinney. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Syndication Show, brought to you by Life Bridge Capital. Life Bridge Capital works with investors nationwide to invest in real estate, while also donating 50% of its profits to assist parents who are committing to adoption. Life Bridge Capital, making a difference, one investor and one child at a time. Connect online at www.lifebridgecapital.com for free material and videos to further your success.